Hi, you guys. It's Shauna from SBell Wellness. I am so happy to be here tonight with you. I just wanted to come back and share about some of the new products that we have with doTERRA, and just recently attended a post-convention tour just to kind of see what other people are doing with the products, learn a little bit more from them. And so was able to do that last weekend, and so I wanted to come and share that here with you guys. So it was really cool going to the convention tour. Usually those local events are really neat because you kind of get some sort of incentive for showing up. So we got this nice roller called the Together Blend, because that was the name of convention this year. And it has magnolia and yuzu in it. So it's just a really nice sweet floral. And I have actually had that one on my lanyard this week and have really just enjoyed the aromatics of that to kind of help really give that calming, but at the same time, like waking up the brain impact. So I've really enjoyed that one. So all that to say, it's really fun if you can ever attend any of those events when they come local, because you can be incentivized for showing up to those. So they just kind of shared with us, of course, like where doTERRA's at and some of the mission. And again, just kind of reiterating like why I got into this in the first place. And I think it's just so cool and so powerful, the impact that doTERRA is able to make, not only for our wellness, but across the world with all of the things that they are doing. So doTERRA has kind of this theme now of pursuing what is pure, and it's absolutely been what they've been doing from the beginning, but just getting that out there and letting all of us know that that continues to be a mission. doTERRA is growing to be and is the largest essential oil company. And so to keep up with that, they really are staying committed to the fact that they're doing the co-impact sourcing. They're really making sure that they're taking care of the people who are growing these products, growing these plants where they grow their best to really get us the purest quality oils that we need, and to be able to keep up with what we need, going all over the world to do that is how they're able to keep up. So I thought that was really cool. They shared that they have impacted 538,555 lives with the jobs that they're doing from co-impact sourcing. So that's huge. I think that's really, really amazing that they're able to do that. And not only are they doing it right now, but they're doing it for future generations in these countries where they are providing this. Like they gave this story about the Kenyan farmers and how they would give them these ginger starts. And so they were able to start growing the ginger, and you can see that for generations, they'll continue to be able to do this. And I know he kind of shared a story about how they showed up in this lady's land, and she's like, "Who are you and why are you here?" And as soon as she heard that they are from doTERRA, she just calmed and settled and understood that that meant that they were there to support. And so that's just so cool to know that that message is across the world, that doTERRA is there to support. So I loved hearing that message. And it just really empowers all of us to be a part of that. So when you are buying your products, you're not only supporting your wellness and your family's wellness, but supporting the lives of other people all over the world. So just to talk about some of the products. So I don't know if you guys have experienced some of them yet. I think our adaptive line, which is the calming line that came out, has been what I've heard the most testimonies about. We have those testimonies in our own family. I still keep asking my husband to kind of do a little recording for us. And when I ask him about it, he says, "It calms me." And I always say, "Yeah, that's the name of it." But it truly is making an impact on just being able to manage some of those anxious feelings. I know they talked about how 264 million people actually deal with anxiety. That's huge. And to be able to really have something natural that can have an impact is just so amazing. And what this does is actually, like when we get anxious, it's sending that emergency signal, and it's increasing that cortisol in our body, which just starts to wreak havoc on so many different things. So we start to have memory issues or cognitive issues, sleep issues. Our immune system starts failing us and we're getting sick all the time. You know, adrenal fatigue happens where you're just constantly tired and you're just going after stimulants, coffee, those kind of things to really stay that way, but you're kind of like wired and tired all of the time. And so Adaptive's this product that came along that they've been working on for years and doing clinical trials and really seeing that it's having a brain impact. And so it's immediately pulling us out of that stress mindset because it's really kind of going in through that olfactory system as we, you know, inhale that and sending that message to the brain that we are okay and that we are going to able to manage this. So it really helps us to process the stress in a better way. It's really helping us to manage our reaction to the stress. And so you can get that in capsule form. I've talked about that one in our video back in September. But those capsules, you can take 1 or 2 of those a day, depending on your routine, and you kind of get to know yourself and how you respond to them, what you need. But what's in those capsules? There's fatty acids in there that are really supporting those imbalances that happen in the brain. And there's different reasons that anxiety can happen in the brain. You know, there's genetic reasons, trauma, nutritional, environmental things that are happening. And so there's many different reasons, but you know, most of them are related to imbalances going on chemically. So these essential fatty acids in there are going to help balance the brain. And then there's also alkaloids in there, which alkaloids have a real impact on serotonin, which we all know as our happy chemical. So we're really working on balance and really supporting our ability to manage our stress. It also comes in an oil blend that you can diffuse, and then in a roller that is just convenient, and you can take that with you wherever you go. It's another one that has been with me in my purse. And it, you know, just smelling it just really gives you that settle that, okay, I can do this. I can deal with this stressor that's going on. And I think one of the really cool things that they shared at the post tour was about like connecting it. So using it when you're not only in stress, but when you're having good things going on too. Because what's so amazing about our olfactory system and our brain and how that interacts is that we tie it to happy memories. So those smells, if you're using it when you're enjoying time with the family or enjoying things that really mean something to you and don't stress you out, and then you smell that when you are stressed out, it's going to bring back those memories of good times. So it's a really great way to tap into how that system works in our body to help us bring back some good memories during our stressful times. And so then of course, just quick use. So you can roll this on, you know, behind your ears, your wrist points, over your heart. One of the things they found in the clinical trials is actually putting it in the web space of the hands because that has a link to the brain. And so that's kind of a new little tip that came out from this product. But again, I just feel like this trio together, it really works best when you are using all 3 of them together. But if you just can explore with one of them or 2 of them at a time, I think that you are going to see some benefit from that. Next up, they talked about digestion. And so, you know, inflammation going on in the body as well. The turmeric duo capsules, I don't have my bottle to show you guys because I ran out, and I actually sent my spare bottle off in a care package to someone. And so they have been amazing for me. I dealt with joint pain due to some thyroid issues. I've done a lot of healing from that, but the joint pain was still something that I pretty much dealt with daily. And I started taking 2 of the turmeric duo capsules every day since I got back from convention, and I'm not experiencing the joint pain that I was experiencing before. It became my normal, and I actually didn't even realize until, you know, I was a few weeks in, and then I was like, oh, this isn't happening anymore. Like, so that's definitely just so cool to show that it really is having an impact on inflammation, which was the root cause for my joint pain. The reason why those dual capsules are so cool, again, something they've studied for quite some time to get this kind of technology in a capsule to us. It is the only one of its kind on the market at the moment. And what it is that it has the powder form of turmeric and the essential oil form. And what they found is it takes both of those for the body to be able to really absorb and get the best benefit of it. So having both of those together is 11 times stronger than just taking like a turmeric powder on its own. So that's a big difference. And it really just makes it so that our body can absorb it and really get that healthy inflammatory response that we're looking for. There was a lady who shared about that, and I just share about it because I have, someone that we care about who has been taking some medication for nerve things going on. And so this lady shared testimony there at the tour about taking gabapentin medication for nerve support after an injury to her back, which impacted her nerves down her legs and her feet. And so she shared that she really wanted to move away from taking that medication after some hospitalization and be able to use natural supports. And she shared that she has been taking the turmeric daily, the duo capsules daily, and that she is walking 3 to 4 miles a day without that discomfort. So just some powerful testimonies to say that it really is having an impact already in so many different lives. So if you're dealing with that or know someone dealing with that, I'd love to be able to share that with you. Next up on the digestion, they were talking about the peppermint enteric capsules. The enteric just means that it's able, it has a coating on it that it's able to survive past our stomach and actually have an impact on the small intestine. And so when we talked about this one at convention, we actually didn't talk a whole ton about it. And so I feel like when I shared last time, I just kind of shared that it was for digestion. But I think they went into more detail a little bit about this one and about how it really is having an impact on people who might be struggling with issues where the small intestine actually kind of leaves that flap open and the bacteria type thing starts happening and mixing. And so you end up with things that sometimes we kind of call it that food baby, or you got that pregnant looking baby after eating. Those are things where that is just, the bacteria is getting in there and they're having digestive issues from that. And so they shared taking this capsule between meals, and it may be variable depending on how long you've been dealing with this, but they shared like 1 to 6 months, you should really start to actually notice that you're having repair happening with these intestinal wall nerves that's kind of causing that to happen. So I thought that was pretty powerful. I myself have digestive issues. I have lots of intolerances and those kind of things. And if I have those detour meals, I notice those, that bloating and inflammation happening. And these have been super, super helpful to be able to calm that down. So if you deal with that, definitely something that you want to check out. The other one they talked about for digestion was the Tamer blend. So if you have used Digest Zen before, and if you're like me and you don't really care for that fennel or licorice type of aromatic, the Tamer doesn't have that. It actually has a Japanese peppermint in there, a spearmint in there, black pepper, a couple other ones in there that are really helping to digest. It is from the kids line, and so it is a gentler aromatic, but it's still going to work for all ages. And they shared some things at the post tour that I thought was pretty cool and wanted to share with you guys about how to use them, and so, or how to apply them. So she talked about putting it above the belly button and going in a clockwise motion if you are having trouble having a bowel movement. And then she said you could add like a castor oil or warm compress over the oil to kind of get that flow going. And then if the opposite, if maybe going too much, then you could do a counterclockwise flow, and you wouldn't do the warm compress with that because you didn't want to continue that flow. But I thought those were really great little insights on people who have been using this, how to apply them topically to really get those best results. So again, you want to go clockwise if you need some more movement, or counterclockwise if you're trying to kind of slow down that flow. Next up was celery seed. So celery seed actually is an oil that really helps to detox the liver and the kidney. She shared that it was good to have with fresh lemon and warm water, adding grapefruit or green mandarin with a drop of the celery seed. I will say that it is a very strong flavor. I tried it in my smoothie and just one drop and was able to really, really taste it. And so my preference would be to take it in like a vegetable glycerin capsule or veggie caps. But there were some other ways that they shared to use it that I do want to actually try. For bone and joint health, she said blending it with frankincense is a really great way to do that. So you could, put those in a roller bottle. For adults, I usually say like 10 drops of each of those oils and fill it with your fractionated coconut oil, and then be able to apply that topically to those areas of distress. They also said that it is actually very calming to add it with adaptive. That makes sense. It's just helping detox the body, and when we're stressed, stress is a toxin, and so that does make sense to me. And then also, which I think is a really cool one that I had not heard of, is adding 5 drops of it with black pepper and some fractionated coconut oil for menstrual relief. So just rubbing that over the abdomen for that. So another way to try our celery seed. Next up is citronella and lemon eucalyptus. And so, we always think of those as like our oils for bug repellent, getting rid of those pesky mosquitoes and things like that. But I think one of the things that stood out to me when they were talking about it is the impact it can have on the respiratory system. And so I shared that with a friend, and she actually has already, used that on her chest and felt like she had some opening of her airways from something she's been dealing with for a couple of weeks. So I thought that was really cool. So I actually made up a roller of that with the citronella and the lemon eucalyptus together, just in case that sort of thing pops up. Can really help open up that respiratory. So the citronella, what it actually is doing for respiratory has to do with, like, if you're dealing with spasms in the respiratory system, that oil is going to help with that. And then the lemon eucalyptus is just a really good one for the upper respiratory system too. And it helps to stimulate circulation, which is kind of a component of that as well. And then one other thing she mentioned about the citronella was that it can help to reduce that high body temperature. So I thought that was important for us to think about on top of some of those other ones that we were already thinking of. Black spruce was talked about. Black spruce has been one of my favorites, and I didn't even realize it because it was in balance. But my bottle of black spruce from September is already gone. I have another one on its way because it really has been one that I have loved adding with citrus for just that relaxing atmosphere in the diffuser. And then I also have tried it by itself with some of the doTERRA unscented lotion. I've been putting that one on the bottoms of my feet with winter already here where we're at in the Midwest. Just trying to keep the body moisturized and all of that. So I've been trialing a bunch of different oils actually at night with the unscented lotion, rubbing my feet before bed. And so the black spruce was one that I've really been loving for that, as well as the adaptive, and sometimes those together, and still with my balance. So trying lots of different ones, but The black spruce, you guys, is actually so good because it helps to ground us when we're feeling like overstimulated. So, you know, we spend a lot of times on screens. Our mind is just even more stimulated than we realize probably. And so using that at the end of the day or throughout the day, when you know you've been doing some of those things that overstimulate, can really be helpful, as well as using it in the diffuser or topically with your kids who might deal with some of that overstimulation. They actually talked about it having an impact on hormone support too. So I want to dig into that a little bit more and be able to talk about that a little bit more, because I'm not sure of that one, but I think that's great that they're seeing experience with that already. And it helps to release like emotional blocks. So if you know you've got some emotional things going on, not really sure where they're coming from, this oil can help to release that. The story about black spruce, I think, is so amazing. This is sourced in Canada. And so it actually is like an invasive species. And so they have all of this excess of it. And so they cut it down for the lumber, but they can't do anything with the scraps of it. So they've been taking these scrap piles, shipping them, putting them into a still, diffusing that, and then there's an adjacent power plant to this where they have this still to distill the oil. And it creates, so this power plant creates the steam for the distillation, and then the raw material that's left over after the distillation goes back to the power plant. I just think that's so amazing. Like, it's this, you know, just sustainable practice that they're using, and we're getting this wonderful product from it. So I just love that part of the story. Next up were the Yarrow Palm products. If you guys aren't using these products, you're gonna want to. They have been so amazing. So Dana Moore talked about them, and she shared how they were firming and protective and anti-aging. And so I have been using them. So I have the serum that we got at convention. I've been adding a couple pumps of this to my hand and body lotion, because I'm trying to make it stretch, because I knew that it wasn't actually going to be available again until January. But there are a couple ways to get that now. So that's what I've been doing to make it stretch. But I have been putting this over my body. I've actually, it's a little bit oily for your face. We do have the Yarrow Palm oil, but when I add it to my hydrating cream, the doTERRA hydrating cream, I don't get that like oily feeling on my face. What I have noticed from it, that it definitely is doing tightening, not in an uncomfortable way, but I'm noticing is that I've always had very large pores, and I'm noticing that I'm not seeing that as much as I did in the past. I definitely am noticing a difference on that. So putting that in a routine has been really good. It is also, she talked about how you can use it to gently remove your mascara, eye makeup, just a little bit, and then you're getting it on your you know, your eyes a little bit to really help to firm and deal with any sort of skin issues that you might have under the eyes. And let's see, the Beauty Complex. So the Beauty Complex is actually a Yarrow Palm supplement. She talked about how it's like beauty from the inside out. It really is supporting that healthy inflammatory system working, so that we are making sure that we are supporting our skin from the inside out, because just putting products on top of it is probably not enough. There are powerful active ingredients in there. She shared briefly that there's a story or a research study about the melanin there and how it actually like slows the ripening. And so that's the whole idea of like this fountain of youth for our skin and our nails, and this anti-aging, if you will. And so I thought it was kind of cool. She shared to take that and tie it to your bedtime routine, because, you know, sometimes we wake up with like that puffy feeling. And so this is a great way to not only get it in a routine, but also take it at a time that can can be helpful for what we're wanting. There was a woman there who shared her story, a testimony from her husband actually has been taking the complex and finding that he had dealt with black under eyes, and just in a week of taking it, that was gone. So super powerful testimonies, you guys, about all of these new products. I will say, if you start to use some of these and you want to take before and after photos, I think it would be so great for us to just flood that out there so that people can see that these natural solutions really are making a huge impact in our wellness, both internally and externally. So that'll be a really great thing to do. Just a couple other things, you know, the holiday products are out. I was so excited that mine arrived yesterday. And so I got the little trio. This is the cute little package. It's kind of hard to see in the lighting in here, but this is the cute little package with the trio of rollers. And so these are rollers that are not usually, touch rollers that are not usually available this way. So this is Serenity, which is our restful blend. And then we have Balance in a roller. And then we have Helichrysum. So Helichrysum has just been such a great like first aid oil, anything, you know, scrapes, bumps, bruises, those kind of things. One of the newest ways that I have found to use Helichrysum actually is that sometimes I deal with hormonal type of breakouts on my skin that are kind of under the skin and don't really surface, but are just really there to bug for longer than you want. And I have used Helichrysum to be able to get that to go away much quicker, heal up faster, and not have to deal with that. So that's my new favorite way to use that Helichrysum oil. I will say these touch rollers that are already pre-diluted for us from doTERRA, there's just some magic in the proprietary way that they do that, because it's definitely different in the aromatics that I'm getting from these touch rollers that I haven't experienced when making some of them on my own. So that was a little gift for sure to get that holiday item, which is still available. There is a holiday item that sold out. There's a couple of them actually. This Serenity linen spray, again, talking about like the way that they put things together for us versus making them at home. This one is definitely more potent than the one I tried to make in the past by myself. So this was a gift last night to spray on our pillows for going to sleep. So why am I telling you about this when you can't get it? Well, because there is an opportunity for you to get it. We have a class going on locally this weekend, and we actually have this one as a giveaway in that. If you bring a friend with you who has not yet found doTERRA, you and your friend's name will go in the drawing to actually win one of these bottles. So I hope you guys can make that. If you want some more information, definitely reach out to me so that I can get that for you. The other thing that was really, really special to me in the holiday are these shea butters. I absolutely love them. You know, like I said, we're already going into winter and wanting to make sure that our skin is staying moisturized. And so these are just these cute little tins. There are 3 different scents. This one's Helichrysum and Rose. There's Blue Tansy, Yarrow, and Neroli. And then the Magnolia and Yuzu, which is the one that I talked about, the Together blend that we got at the tour. And then there's an unscented one, so you could add whatever your favorite oil is or just use it without if you had that preference. So they're super gentle aromatics. They kind of have that, you know, shea butter texture to them, kind of like, I don't want to say lip balm, but it is kind of that texture for them. But this is a great way to get that without all those toxins and chemicals that are in other lotions. So those are some of my favorite products. I did bring in actually this little diffuser, the lava stone diffuser to show you. This is last year's. The new ones this year actually have concrete bottoms, which are actually even more sturdy and nice, even nicer than this wood one from last year. But these are really great to have in rooms where you maybe don't have a plug-in, or drop it in your like cup holder in the car to diffuse with you on the go. So I think those are still available. The only other item that has sold out so far is the Peace, the Holiday Peace hand wash. It is coming back December 1st though, and so just keep an eye on that. I got a few of those and I'm so glad that I did, because it absolutely smells amazing. So we've already started using that here at our house. And the other thing that comes in on December 1st is the travel set of the yarrow. So that's where I said we can get it a little bit sooner than the January. So they're going to have a travel set that has these two products that I've talked about, the serum and the complex. And then it's also going to have a bottle of the yarrow palm oil, which I didn't mention earlier, is one that I actually use in my nighttime routine. I put the oil straight on and just some areas on my face that I really know can use that extra love. You look like a Smurf for a few minutes. It has this beautiful blue color to it. This schmazzeline in the plant is really blue, and so I use that with my hydrating cream at night before I go to bed. So it just really gives this nice glow and really helps support the skin. So I think that's what I wanted to share with you guys tonight. I hope that wasn't too much information, but just a recap of some of the things that are new to us at doTERRA and just some great ways that people are using them. If you've been using them and you have specific testimonies, I'd love for you to share that either by reaching out to me or jumping on over to some of the SBell Wellness social media, either on Facebook or Instagram, and share those stories. Let's flood the world with some of those pictures and testimonies so they know that using these natural solutions are the way to go, so that we can all be healthy and well. So thank you guys so much for joining in. Please don't hesitate to reach out if you need me. If you jump on over to sbellwellness.com, all of my contact information is there so that you can get me anytime that you need to. All right, I hope that you stay well, and I will see you all next time.